Hi, I'm Sarah Peters, and I am excited to welcome you to another session of the 2021 Scissortail Creative Writing Festival hosted by East Central University. There's many people who come together to support the ongoing success of this festival. I want to thank the Oklahoma Arts Council, the ECU Foundation, the Darrell Fisher Endowment, my colleagues in the Department of English and Languages, and the Department of Art, Design, Media, and Communication. I especially want to thank Ken Hayda, our festival director, and Mike Maxwell, who has made our virtual festival possible this year. Every year, the students at ECU help to make the Scissortail Festival the meaningful experience that it is. I want to give a shout out this year to the Tiger Media student production team. They have done a fantastic job on our live streams, making sure that those videos get posted on their YouTube channel so you can come back, revisit those videos, share them. Please share and let your friends know about the wonderful readings that you have been able to listen to and the discussions you've been able to have at our virtual conference this year. This session is going to feature 4 ECU student writers. All of these writers have contributed to Originals. This is ECU's student literary journal. This journal is published annually. It is designed and collected by a team of student editors, and it features the creative work of ECU students, creative writing, essays, fiction, drama, poetry, as well as visual art. The 2021 edition is out now. If you would like your copy, you can come by the Department of English and Languages in Faust Hall, and it can be purchased there for $5. Or email me at ecuenglishlandlanguages@ecok.edu, and we'll make sure that you get a copy. Our first student reader is Taylor Johnson. Taylor is a senior English major from Allen, Oklahoma. She enjoys writing fiction. She's had works published in ECU's Originals, MSU's Voices, and St. Fisher John's Angels. Thank you, Taylor.
Like she said, I'm Taylor Johnson. I'm going to be reading a short prose piece entitled Curled Finger. I wrote this story during a time in my life where I was really struggling with who I was. For a long time, I felt like I was losing to the darkness inside me. I wrote this as almost a jab back at that darkness and like an attempt to let light inside. So this is a piece inspired by that struggle, and it's a story of a battle against an unexpected enemy. So. Her gaze has paralyzed me. I can't move. I'm scared to even breathe. What a fool I was for moving out of my hiding. Now I'm hurting from the pain of my comfortable cowering. I had grown accustomed to my aching. I missed the mire that embedded itself into my sore knees. I missed the throbbing of my back from being crouched down for so long. I missed the sinking feeling of being pulled down into the dark mud. I had hoped one day I could become a part of it. I wish I could still cover my ears and head from the screams and loud gunshots of my battlefield. Hiding was horrid, but it was far better than facing her. Now I stand only a few feet away with trembling hands on my muddy gun. My weapon feels heavy and awkward in my frail arms. My uniform is stained and brown. Cold rain is running down my face and is meshing with fearful tears. My neck aches terribly. It has been a long time since I've looked up. Now I wonder what provoked me to move. For as long as I can remember, I have felt eyes on me. At first, I ignored them and fought on. I was determined to win the battle inside me. For many years, I stood as the victor of my thoughts and mind. But as I grew older, the rain came down harder and my enemies grew stronger. The pool of the mud beckoned me to stop, to curl up into my ball and to join it. So I obeyed. After my surrender, I imagined my enemies were watching. I pictured them waiting for one movement, one small signal that there was still life within me. As far as they and I could tell, I was dead. Up until this moment, I didn't know who my enemies were. All I knew was that enemies were watching me. In my mind, there were millions. Even without looking up, I could feel cold black pupils. They invaded me, causing the tiny hairs on my arms and back to raise. I shiver at the thought. I knew that the moment I moved was the moment they pulled the trigger. I accepted that it was best to stay in my place. For years, I was sure I knew who the eyes belonged to. As a child, I learned about the devil. The one with long black horns and sharp pitchfork. I imagined this creature gazing at me, drooling. He always seemed ready to devour with sharp red teeth. I was taught that the devil was my enemy, and he is, though now I see the devil is not so conspicuous. As I grew older, I noticed that my monsters became men. Yes, I've blamed these devils in disguise for my hiding. They wear a uniform like me, yet their eyes are slit and their tongues are twisted. He is the one waiting for me to move. She is the one with the finger on the trigger. They are the ones ready to take my last breath. I blame them, the people who have hurt me. Though, if it is their fault, why am I standing here on my battlefield, staring directly at myself? How could my enemy all these years be only me? In front of me, I see a girl who shares my every feature. She's the same brown eyes and long hair, the same slender nose, and the same thin build. She's clearly me, though something is different. She is the me I never wanted to be, the one I fought so desperately to hide. She is selfish and takes all that she wants, even if it would hurt others. She's the one who lets anger become her. She is the one who has given up on her dreams just so she can be comfortable, comfortable like my horrid hiding. She is standing tall and straight. The rain in no way is weighing her down. She is smirking at me, her smug eyes on the barrel of my gun. I wonder if she's been smiling all this time. Go ahead, she teases. Kill yourself. I lower my weapon. How could I kill the dark parts of me? I don't know who I am without her. My darkness has cradled me like the black mud that is covering my cold feet. I wonder who I could become if I let light in and allowed the rain to stop. I wonder how fast I could run if the earth was allowed to harden. I will raise my gun once again. My enemy is holding out her arms. She's closed her eyes and is flashing a bright smile. Pull the trigger, she shouts. As I write this, I wonder. I wonder if one day my finger will curl and tighten. I wonder if I will let myself burst. Maybe one day I will defeat my real enemy, me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Our next student writer is Brandon Prine. Brandon is a sophomore English major from Stratford, Oklahoma. He's a member of the ECU Honors Program, and he had 5 poems published in originals this year. Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm just going to be reading some of the poems that I got submitted into the originals 2021. So here we go. Harsh winters, a metaphor. Be my bird that stays for the winter. With icy wings shelter my shiver. Icicle tears stream and freeze to my face. Frostbitten feathers, please caress them away. Glacial winds pierce all hope. It's a foe that cannot be easily controlled. You say it's cold. I say I know. So let our hearts bleed hellfire and set ablaze the snow. So in the poem I just read, the winter theme is a metaphor for something much darker in life, which is depression. And I think that a lot of times when we feel so low, we don't like to be a burden to other people. But this poem kind of delves into the selfish side of things, which is wanting someone to stay with you so bad, even if it's hurting them as well. Because, I mean, being chosen as a human is just something we all deeply desire. And when we aren't chosen, it really hurts. Sometimes not being chosen feels like it's the end of the world, which leads me to my next poem, An Unrequited Letter. Dear precarious one of mine, when these eyes do not spark thine, the moon and sun chase each other out of the sky, and the nighttime space is pulled back like a veil, divulging the divide between the heavens and hell. Sincerely, yours truly. One of my favorite things to do is just sitting with nature. I love to go to the park and just stare at a tree. There is more life around us than just other humans, and I think we often forget that. We are constantly seeking human attention, and it often leads to excessive loneliness. So this next poem I use as a mantra for myself when I feel alone, and this is a lonely poet's mantra. Loneliness relinquishes itself when attention seeks quiet streams, burbling loud, swaying trees, wafting serenity about, and the traveling clouds waving as they pass on their route. And because I go to parks and stare at trees, I've become pretty observant with nature. So one day I was at Wintersmith and I saw these ants walking across the sidewalk, and I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, wait, what if for these ants that sidewalk at one moment was just this terrible event that happened where their whole family just died, and the only people that made it were the ants that were fast enough to scurry out of the pouring cement. And I thought about that, and I thought, it's a curious little thing. It's this thing that we'll never know if that's for sure what happened. So I wrote this poem called Curious Little Things. Curious little things, unknown to us entirely. Prospects to which we are unaware. A seemingly different reality. Walking the stone path, I mull over in my mind wayfaring thoughts, the details, and the most fine of lines. It was a catastrophic event. It must have been, when the grass had to suffocate so we could stand. Nature reflects humanity's reign. Neglected caring is provided to curious little things. And then finally, we have my last poem, which is probably also one of my favorites because it really isn't that serious. It's silly and goofy, and sometimes I just want to write something that almost makes no sense. So this is, I'm hosting a party. In a field bathed with October leaves, crackle and crunch will say the underneath. I've invited moonlit spirits to come and dance with me. Fog might attend, although he's yet to RSVP, but stars will be there, glistening and glimmering. The sky will become a disco ball, flickering and shimmering. No need to worry. Music is provided. Howling wolves and the frogs. I'm so excited. Foxes and raccoons will come in top hats and ties, setting the bar for you and I. We mustn't be outshined. And at precisely 2 a.m., a clairvoyant will arrive, and she'll tell fortunes for $1 with her one glossy eye. And there'll be a feast, of course, an entree of s'mores, hushing the beast in our bellies, his thundering roar. Once the sun decides we've had enough fun, Mother Nature we will thank, and to our homes we will run. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Our next student reader is Kate Robinson. Kate is a senior English major from Holcomb, Kansas. She's been writing fiction and poetry for 2 years and has had 2 poems published in originals and 1 receiving an honorable mention for the prestigious Paul Hughes Memorial Writing Competition. Kate.
This is an excerpt from my short story, Easy. I said no, but you didn't hear. I said no, but you didn't listen. So I started to say yes, because you can't ignore what I never said. 16 is too young for sex, too young to get serious, too young for love, or maybe just too young to know better. I met him online. I should say. But it doesn't matter. Love is love. It's no different from meeting at school, at church, at the mall. If anything, we're closer because I know him and he knows me. Hearts apart, still love. You know? 20 minus 16 is 4. 4 years isn't so bad. If I was 25, he was 29, no one would bat an eye. So what's the difference? Greg. Names are funny. You hear a name again and again, called during attendance, mentioned in a short story, shouted in a busy waiting room, spoken on TV. You never notice. It's nothing. It's just a name. But then it's not nothing. It means butterflies, a smile, his soft voice in my ear, images of us together. Greg isn't just a name anymore. It's him. It takes one lie between 2 people, 3 hours apart, for us to be together. 5 months is long enough. He has his own place. I have a car, but we have a problem. My mom. Mama Bear is protective. That may be an understatement. You're my baby bear, she always says, and safest in the den. Ever since Papa Bear died, nothing's been just right. You're all I have left, she whispered at the funeral when she wrapped me in a bear hug. Where are you going? For how long? Who will be there? Do I know them? Will their parents be there? Check in hourly. I can barely move without the overbearing questions. It's unbearable. Make time for me, he begs. But time isn't the issue. It's timing. If I choose wrong, too early or too late, we're busted, broken up. One little lie begets another, and another, and another, until you're telling big lies. Or that's what Mom always says when we talk about trust, honor, integrity, virtue. But this is different. It's just one little lie. Game night is one of the few routines that survived when Dad didn't. Mom tried to cancel it, but her friends came anyway. At first with casseroles, cakes, all the carbs and compassion, and eventually they started bringing drinks and games and laughter. And it feels good to hear Mom laugh. Sometimes she doesn't all week, like she only has so many laughs left, and she's saving them all for game night. I hide in my room while they play, text Mom to bring me snacks. Without fail, she delivers them with a laugh. We don't bite, you can come out. And without fail, I reply with a grin. I see enough teachers at school. I don't need to see them at home. Sometimes she leaves with a kiss, sometimes a shrug. Suit yourself, but always with the understanding of what it's like to be the daughter of a teacher. Just one little lie. Can I sleep over with Paige tonight? Is her mom home? Yeah. What about dinner? They're ordering pizza. And after, we'll watch some movies. What time will you be home? Tomorrow, 10. Did you do your homework? Yeah, done and done. Then yeah, I'll give you a ride. Can't. It's game night. Oh, right. Well, can I take the car? No speeding. Never. Seatbelt? Always. Straight there, straight back. That's it. Check in when you get there. And before bed. Okay. Love you. Have fun. Love you too. It's just one little lie. Polka dots or stripes? Which are sexier? Even the pajamas have to be perfect when I pack my bag. If I want an adult relationship, I can't look like a kid. I can't act like a kid. So I pack the stripes and wonder, how can I pack confidence, maturity, grace? Can I leave behind my fear, insecurities, guilt, if I simply don't pack them? I made for the door as game night began. How's the report going? Mrs. Johnson pried while she tucked her margarita behind her back. All finished, answered with a grimace, so I remembered why I hide in my room. Carla, you got a good egg here. If half my students were more like her, my job would be cake. She's got a good head on her shoulders, smart, dedicated, responsible. And each compliment cut when I made my way to the door. I'm here. I texted Mom from the road an hour ago. No reply. Good. She's too busy with her friends to notice her phone. I knew game night was the right night. Still no reply when I stopped at the gas station a few blocks from his house, Greg's house. In the cramped bathroom, I brushed my teeth, combed my hair, fixed my makeup, sprayed my perfume, all to look perfect for Greg. 8:37. Too early to tell Mom I'm going to bed. So I set an alarm, 11:15, say goodnight to Mom, and be thankful she never learned to track a cell phone. Greg was on the porch, smoking and waiting for me. I parked my car. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. He flicked a cigarette, flashed a grin, and time stopped. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Our final student writer today is Bryce Clark. Bryce is an English major who will graduate this May. He is an aspiring intergalactic interpreter, a part-time prairie acoustic performer for bovine audiences, and a full-time dojo master specializing in bear hugs and thumb wrestling techniques. Bryce.
Hey, I'm Bryce, and I write goofy stories. This one's called Trajectory. This is my favorite commercial. It goes like this. There's a bouncy southern acoustic riff accompanied by a man's voice who says, "Trajectory," in a sustained gruff tone, like in the movie trailers. Cut to a classroom. "It's such a funny word, isn't it?" says the teacher at the front. Denim skirt, denim vest, blouse with an angel on it. The usual first grade teacher is sweet as cake and makes the best cherry pie in the school. Fold it like this. She's got a piece of copy paper in her hands that she folds and wraps to look like a tall house. The students' little heads seem to bob to the carefree chord progression. Inattentive, they rip and tear the paper. The scraping and slashing overcome the dreadful sample music for a minute, and then there's nothing. This is the best part. All I can hear is the grumble and wheeze of my 2025 sedan, my silver monster. Then the faded monitor at my dash takes on color again. The speakers start a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, says the movie man's voice. A quick flash of light fills the darkness, feathers out. Combustion follows. Gray clouds funnel and choke the flame, try to suffocate it. The fire gets away, runs upward. The camera pans up and we see a rocket on top of the fire. Up and up it goes, ripping and tearing through the puffy skin of God, easy as poking a finger into water. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, says a voice shaky, yet confident. That part used to give me goosebumps. Cut back to the classroom. Little slivers of paper are raining from the ceiling. Careful now. You don't want uneven wings, Miss Denham Angel says, as she reveals that they are constructing paper airplanes. There's a hissing noise as the children fold the paper between their tiny fingers. One of the kids starts waving his arms like a bird. Up and down he goes along the aisle, stomping his little boots into the ribbons of paper underneath. The other kids laugh. Miss Denham Angel chuckles as well. No, it would be like this, she says with one arm outward and the other tucked into her armpit. She spins in a circle and falls on the ground. The kids all giggle and gather to help her up. It's a genuine Hallmark moment. Really sets the mood for the next part. 6, 5, 4, says the movie man. Cut back to that hungry titanium fire monster. It decided to leave behind its own expensive clouds to make up for the ones it ate through. The camera keeps up as it breaks through every layer that separates us from an infinite void of ambivalence. There's a bassy, heroic theme that starts to make up for silence as the rocket slows above. There's some old beat-up satellites floating around where heaven used to be. It's a harnessing of the basic power of the universe, says a staticky, certain voice. The fact that we can release atomic energy ushers in a new era in man's understanding of nature's force. A pause. The bass shudders and climbs until I can feel the doors of my car shake. It is an atomic bomb. They have been repaid many-fold. The rocket lowers its nose and reinserts itself into reality. Down and down, a mask of inferno looks like a dragon dancing towards the blue-green rock. 3, 2, the movie man says. Back at the classroom, there is an air of suspense, the kind of silence that follows something loud, like glass breaking, or a profound thought dropped into mediocrity by overconfidence. The teacher picks her airplane up. The children follow the teacher's lead. Now it's all up to you, she says. Depending on your speed, your angle, and your strength, that will decide your trajectory. One of the kids gulps loudly. Another one looks down admiring their plane and tucks it into their backpack. One of the kids looks around like they're lost, but in fact, they have only lost their paper airplane. Another kid, one with blonde hair and a striped shirt, is shaking with excitement at the prospect of letting his plane loose. On my count now, 3, 2, but it's too late. The blonde child lets go of his plane when the teacher says now. He watches as his plane goes straight into the carpet, folding itself on impact to never be thrown again. Then there is silence. The film becomes grainy and red. Zooming out, the camera captures the rocket as it kneels on humanity. 1. A flash of light. Fire swallows the screen. Gray clouds funnel and choke the flame, trying to suffocate it. The fire gets away, runs upward, up and up, but there is no rocket this time. Only a cloud with wings, stretching out and out, swallowing up the world. The supermarket, the church, the school. The screen is dark. Dust rustles around where hollowed-out buses sit. A fiery plank falls, once attached to the gym. From out of the sky, down and down, a denim vest floats. It lands on the ground, close up. Cinched into the back, it says, Apocalyptic Home and Auto Insurance Company. We've got your back in life and death. The bastards are relentless. Flames swallow their perspective, and my monitor returns to its blue user interface. The speakers ask me, commercial or music? Break, I say. You have chosen the 30-second intermission. Enjoy your peace and quiet. I live for moments like this, stopped, waiting, on my way home from work. Nothing but the hum of my idling monster, my monster, and the monsters around me. Beside me, there's a red one growling on 20-inch wheels. Behind me, there's a little blue one shuffling and sniffling. The driver inside watching an advertisement on his dash monitor. The landscape runs a perfect horizontal course in almost every direction. In front is the city where we live. Behind me is the city where we work. Beside our rows of cars, dirt is piled high, where orange monsters with black stripes groan and roar on tank tread. Their mouths drop into the dirt and yank up secrets that haven't been kept yet. 20 seconds remaining, say my speakers. It's moments like this when I'm finally so close to silence, I feel like I can think clearly again. Gone are the squiggles that thump and jump in my temples. I have a choice. This is no dictatorship, no big brother dystopian hell of a government. The volume knob is right there. It's a fear of silence. My favorite moments, the moments of stillness, are only enjoyable whenever you know the noise is coming back, that the intermission comes to an end. I shiver in my shivering silver car monster to imagine going on without even a gentle ring in my ear. It's too lonely. 10 seconds of intermission remaining, say my speakers. I notice that the person in the big monster next to me has their window down and is looking at me. I roll my window down and oblige them. Howdy, partner, a man in a red hat says down to me. You want intermish too? Yep, 10 more seconds, I say. He looks at me with a pitying face. I can't tell if he feels bad that I'm about to lose my silence or if he's sad that I still have so long to wait before I return to it. He certainly doesn't want to enjoy his moment of calm. He's just flirting with the idea. Heard they're going to have this road fixed up by the end of next month. About time if you ask me, he says, eyes surveying the landscape over his wheel. Yeah, about time, I say. The road will never be fixed. The construction will only move a couple of miles up the road next month. We'll just have to wait closer to home. 3 seconds remaining, says the voice of my monster. The man looks back down to me as if he's seeing me off to war. His eyes harden, his mouth firms up. He points at his windshield, past it, to a billboard on the side of the road. He echoes the words printed. Up and up to the future, partner. I roll my window up. Commercial or music, the voice asks. Commercial, I reply. There's a bouncy southern acoustic riff accompanied by a man's voice who says, trajectory, in a sustained gruff tone, like in the movie trailers. Cut to a classroom. Thank you so much for listening. You should go grab a copy of originals. They're only $5. Skip out on coffee for a day, and go get some of the best writing in Oklahoma. Asterisk, I'm a little biased because I was an editor on it, and all of the amazing writers you listened to today are featured in it. So go grab it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank all of you who have joined us this afternoon. Thank you again to all of our student writers. You've done a fantastic job. If you would like more information about the creative writing opportunities at ECU or about our academic programs, then please reach out to me at ECU English and Languages at ecok.edu. I will be happy to answer your questions, share all the information that you need, and hook you up with a copy of Originals 2021. We have 2 more sessions in the Scissortail Festival for this year. Please join us again at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock today, and revisit our previous sessions on the ECU Tiger Media YouTube channel. Thanks.